Hi, I'm Dr. Sujaya, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Applications at Dr. S.N.S. Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science. In the Series 8 video, I'm going to discuss is about the API lifecycle management. Here, the lifecycle stages are many, and here at the core of API management is the need to serve the full-time lifecycle of an API and enable the associated ecosystem. An API first approaches emphasizes is the importance of the entire life cycle by strategically treating API as product and managing them as such. And the outcome of this approach is well designed, managed, and secured API to serve developers building new experience. And there are three distinct stages of the API lifecycle. One is the product centric lifecycle, next is design, implementations, and management, which is we discussed further. So, in this diagram, if we see, we have a troubleshoot, we have manage, we have secure, we have deploy, we have monitor, which has a design, implementation, and management, which is going to be explained in the oncoming slides in detail. So, design is the first step in an API lifecycle, where designing an API starts with the outsiders in perspective, beginning with the interface contract of an API. API developers creates the user interface of an API first, determining how the API looks and behaves. This is also known as an API contract, and this approach is typically referred to as design first approach and should follow a deliberate API design lifecycle to optimize for the best experience. And this step must be done in a human reliable fashion to specify the contracts in a way that developers can easily digest. And the API developers perform the tasks like design, stimulate, feedback, and validate. So in design, it identifies the process and business requirements. Stimulate is the model API resources, model API operation methods. Feedback is mock-up of an API. Validations is the modifying API design as appropriate based on the developer's feedback. What is implementing of API is a critical piece of enabling a next generation enterprise, enabling the connectivity of hundreds of thousands of APIs to the backend as well as each other's stream. And it must be done in a systematic manner. And there's two steps that has been deployed in an implementation stage at the building and testing. And the systematic approach to build ensures that API developers have the following architectural patterns easily available. That is, one is the orchestrations, transformations, routing, data mapping, connectivity across systems, and these are the important one. And the testing automation tools are critical as the integrations in the DevOps process of continual delivery and deployment is quite difficult. Management. It is critical to ensure your application building blocks is following best practice in security and architectural governance by applying policies to them at the runtime. Monitoring all the traffic via API manager is equally critical because it just takes one weak link to bring it to shutdown. The lifecycle stages securing, deploying, monitoring, troubleshooting, managing are the stages that has been involved in the management process. These API need to be discoverable and it should be reused for other purposes, and the ability to appropriately publish them so the consumers developers can find, research, and understand these easily, and it could make to break your entire program easily. Who does and what across the API lifecycle do? Depending on the maturity of an organization, there may be one person handling all these responsibilities, or there may be multiple people handling certain areas. Each status in the API lifecycle provides specific value, which ensures applications building blocks, provides desired business outcomes, and it oversees the API across the full lifecycle in smaller organizations. While in more robust organization, an API analyst and admin would cover design, DevOps, and integration developers, and an application network architecture would handle implementation, and an API admin would cover the management portions. So these are the people who have been inclined in the API lifecycle. That is the API admins. Oops. And next is the applications network architecture. Next is the API admin. Next is the API analyst. Next is the integration developer, and then is the application manager. API management for application network. In today's competitive landscape, business needs to make decisions quickly, whether it is a new marketing campaign or a new product enhancement, a new partner portal, or an employee productivity app. Business are competing on speed. They need flexibility to enable this to create a purposeful, agile applications building block can be easily pieced together with a well-defined, well-managed API to quickly create what is needed. Connecting these building blocks results in a network of interchangeable functionality, sub-functionality, or applications so-called as application network. An application network is composed of applications building blocks, and these have multiple elements, and it is critical to separate the concerns between each other. This building block should itself be treated as a product since the category are common to what a good product can be. Thank you.